Hello everyone, today I'm going to be giving my predictions for the Europa League match day 6 and Conference League match day 5. I'm going to try go through this video as fast as I can, so let's stop with a yap and carry on. First up in the Europa League, we have Dynamo Zagreb versus Real Betis. I think Real Betis are going to win this game comfortably 4-0. Midtjylland versus Genk, another interesting game, but I think Genk is going to win 2-1. Utrecht versus Nottingham Forest. Realistically, Nottingham Forest should win this game, and I believe they will. 3-0. Ferencvaros versus Rangers. Rangers, I reckon, are going to win this game 1-0. Razgrad versus Thessaloniki. I think Razgrad draw 2-2 with Thessaloniki. Nice versus Braga. I think Nice lose this game considering the form. They're not doing good in the Europa League. They're last in the Europa League. So I'm going to say Braga win this game 2-0. Sturm Graz versus Crvena Zvezda. I reckon it's going to be a draw and 0-0 draw. Stuttgart versus Maccabi Tel Aviv. They're almost last, Tel Aviv. So I'm going to say Stuttgart are winning this game 4-1. Lille versus Young Boys. Again, should be an easy game for Lille. I'm going to say Lille win this game 3-0. Aston Villa versus Basel. I reckon this is going to be an Aston Villa win 4-2. Brann versus Fenerbahce. Once again, I think this might be one of the best games in the Europa League to watch. Brann are a very underrated team, at least right now. They're currently pretty good. So I'm going to say Fenerbahce draw with Brann 1-1. Celta Vigo versus Bologna. This is probably the best game to watch. I think Bologna win this game though 2-1. Roma versus Celtic. I think Roma should win this game as well. 1-0. FCSB versus Feyenoord. I think Feyenoord are going to win this game 3-0. Porto versus Malmo. Again, Porto are really good in the Europa League, and I just don't see Malmo winning. So I'm going to say Porto win 5-0 against Malmo. Freiburg versus Salzburg. I think Salzburg win this game only 1-0, just. Lyon versus Go Ahead Eagles. Once again, Lyon should win this game, and I think they will. 2-0 for Lyon. Finally, in the Europa League, Panathinaikos versus Victoria Pleasant. I think Victoria Pleasant just about get their win, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Victoria Pleasant. Now let's jump into Conference League. We have Breidablik versus Shamrock Rovers. I think Shamrock Rovers are going to win 2-0 against Breidablik. AZ Alkmaar versus Drita. I think Alkmaar should win this game 5-1. No, FC Noah versus Legia Warszawa. I mean, Legia Warszawa have been horrible. They haven't won in like 2 months, is it? They're struggling out, but this is the last chance for them to win, for them to qualify in the Conference League. So I think they must win this game, but I think it's going to be somewhat close. But I'm going to say it's going to be 3-2 to Legia Warszawa. Fiorentina versus Dynamo Kiev. Again, Fiorentina are just always the Conference League gods. They always do well in Conference League, so I'm going to say Fiorentina win this game 3-0. Haken versus Larnaca. I think Haken win this game 2-0 against Larnaca. Jagiellonia Białystok versus Rayo Vallecano. I think this game will end in a draw. This will be a 1-1 draw for Jagiellonia Białystok versus Rayo Vallecano. Skandia versus Slovan Bratislava. I think Bratislava are going to win this game 2-1. Obviously, before the last game, they were struggling, but they got the win. So I'm going to say Bratislava win 2-1. Salmonspor versus Athens. I think Athens are going to get this win just barely 1-0. UC versus Sparta Prague. Realistically, Sparta Prague should dominate this game, and I think they will. I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for Sparta Prague. Aberdeen versus Strasbourg. Once again, Strasbourg should just get this win comfortably, and I think it will be a 3-1 win for Strasbourg. Shakhtar Donetsk versus Hamrun Spartans. Again, Shakhtar should win this game, and I think they will. 2-0 for Shakhtar. Cups versus Lausanne. I think it's going to be a Lausanne victory 2-1. Lech Poznan versus Mainz. One of the better games maybe to watch. I think Mainz are going to focus more in the Bundesliga rather than the Conference League. So I think they're going to slip up in this game. And they're playing away. So I'm going to give this to Lech Poznan winning 3-2 against Mainz. Lincoln Red Imps versus Sigma. I think Lincoln are going to win this game. They have been pretty bad, but I think they're going to win this game 1-0. Raków Częstochowa versus Mostar. I think Raków will win this game 1-0 against Mostar. Rapid Wien versus Nicosia, Omonia Nicosia. I think Rapid Wien just don't get the win. I don't even think they have a single point. If they do, it's shocking. Rapid Wien are on 0 points, they're last in the group. They've only scored 2 goals, conceding 12. Disappointing. Therefore, I just don't see them winning. And I think Omonia Nicosia are going to absolutely destroy them 4-0. Celje versus Rijeka. I think Celje are going to win this game comfortably again, 2-0. Finally, in the Conference League, we have Crystal Palace versus Shelbourne. I think Crystal Palace are going to get this win, and I think it's going to be a 4-1 game for Crystal Palace. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and turn the notification bell on to see future videos.